Hello everyone and oh my god, Age of Empires 4 was announced yesterday, as well as the first information on the Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition. Oh my word, I was so hyped. Age of Empires 4! Oh, an Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition. We already knew it was coming, but we got information on it yesterday. So let's first of all talk about the Definitive Edition, because we actually got some nice information. The release date is going to be the 19th of October 2017. Oh, brilliant! On the 20th anniversary of the game. That is very close. I can't wait. And we got to find out they're bringing the game into the modern era with vastly improved and updated graphics. Attack move has been introduced, the population cap has been increased to 300, there's rally points, key bindings, select idle military units and villagers, unit queuing, right click scrolling, and so much more. Because this game is so old, it didn't have a lot of these things. It was just either A, the genre hasn't advanced enough to get the controls right yet, or B, they didn't have the processing powers on the PC, and so on. It was just, when the Age of Empires 1 came out, it was a lot harder time on games. They didn't have as much control, and it's just brilliant. They're not just giving it a makeover, they're bringing it into the modern age, but they're not changing anything that is going to like change the gameplay in any way whatsoever. So it's just sort of bringing this old game into a new light, and oh, I can't wait for Age of Empires Definitive Edition. Age of Empires is the game that got me into strategy games. I think it's the very first strategy game I ever played. It was either that or Shogun Total War, but I remember the one that got me addicted to strategy games was Age of Empires. And it was only the Total Wars, it was only as time went on I got more and more addicted to them, but Age of Empires is the original addiction to strategy games, and they're bringing it back! There's going to be a fourth one! So let's move on. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in the trailers, they are both going to be at the end of the video, just completely unthingied, so stay tuned to the end to watch the Definitive and Age of Empires 4 trailer. But Age of Empires 4 information, they didn't release any. They didn't release any, it's just an announcement trailer. But we have a couple of things I want to talk about. We have this image from the past, which was in a magazine, if I do recall correctly, because the most important piece of information for me right now is, when is Age of Empires 4 set? And I wouldn't call it an estimate, I wouldn't call it a guess, but from the way things look, it looks like they're sticking to the original plan as showed in this magazine. When you watch the Age of Empires 4 trailer, it starts off with images from like Age of Empire 1 stained glass style stuff, and then it moves on to the Age of Empire 2, so it's getting further into the future from the past one sort of perspective. Like, closer to modern times, there we go, that's the best way to word it. It's getting closer to modern times, and closer to modern times in the games as well. Like, starts off with Age of Empires 1, like, where you start off in, oh, what was the, before the Bronze Age. Yeah, okay, I'm getting tongue-tied, it's not a history lesson, but yeah, you've got your Age of Empires 1, which was sort of centered around the Bronze Age and the times around then. Then you had the Age of Empires 2, which is sort of like the Dark Ages and medieval. And then you had the Age of Empires 3, which is sort of colonial and early Americas. And now, what comes after that? And according to the little image we were showing you, I showed you there in the magazine, it was the World Wars. I'm assuming Age of Empires, you advance from one World War to the next kind of thing. Like, you've probably got a pre-World War tech, World War I tech, between the wars. Because you normally have 4 ages, don't you? So I'm guessing that it'll be an age before World War I, World War I tech is the second age, in between the wars tech is the Third Age, and then Fourth Age will be World War II tech. Unless they branch out, because you could have early World War II and late World War II tech. There would be a very good justification from that, because we had very different equipment and stuff going about from the early to late World War I and II. Well, not so much World War I, but World War II we had lots of, there was a big jump in the tech, going from mainly like bolt action rifles to Tommy guns and that sort of thing. And tanks came on quite a lot as well, so it would be quite interesting because there's so many different marks of tanks going down through the years. It'd be quite interesting to see that represented in some way. But I'm a wee bit disappointed because I loved Age of Empires 1. Age of Empires 1 is my favourite. So because it's starting to look like they're sticking to the original plan of keeping the timeline slowly advancing, and with the 5th game being futuristic, set in the future, I'm kind of like, oh. But I suppose I'll be okay because I'm getting my Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition. But yeah, I'm sort of like, oh. Because Age of Empires 1 was my favourite, 2 I loved, 3 I thought was good. And so I'm hoping it doesn't continue in this trend. But the one thing that's got me a wee bit worried about that is the people making it as Relic. And I've enjoyed quite a few Relic games, but they seem to follow in that trend. Let's say, take a look at Dawn of War 1, awesome. Dawn of War 2, good. Dawn of War 3, let's just not go there. So yeah, I'm a wee bit worried about the game. Is it going to live up to expectations? They've got one hell of a lot of expectations to live up to. Either Age of Empires or the original StarCraft is like what got most people into strategy gaming. This is one of the daddies of the genre. This, well, is for me, is for a lot of people. It is a big name in the genre. It is... I know, the StarCraft, the original StarCraft, and the... oh, it's not Red Alert. Command and Conquer, there we go. The original Command and Conquers were sort of like the daddies of this genre, with Command and Conquer, I think, being the first one and the first really successful one. But yeah, we're rambling on. We're not really talking much about the game anymore. We're just talking about the genre, and it is a big return to the genre. I hope it is as good as the hype, and either way I'm going to enjoy Definitive Edition. So yes, hope you've all enjoyed this. Feel free to watch the trailers now. Bye-zy bye.
time changes everyone and everything. Empires will rise, kingdoms will fall. The grounds of battle become stained with fire and blood. But our thirst for adventure, exploration, discovery, and conquest will stand the test of time. Together, we have battled through history. Now, a new age is upon us.